Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I've got the Economic Ninja with me here, and we're going to go over some things that have been happening in this country that my brother-in-law sent me earlier. He's a Marine, a enlisted officer, and he pays attention and he watches things just like we do on this channel. So before we get going, hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell if you like this kind of content. We try to keep it up to date and coming. I try to have really cool people on the channel that are extremely smart and intelligent, like
Thanks.
you, buddy.
Thank you.
So, there's been 1,900 food production companies that have been destroyed last year. Just mull on that for a minute. 2 of the largest egg manufacturers burnt down 36 hours apart. 2 planes crashed into meat processing plants, the large meat processing plants last year as well. So, this is not the way it's supposed to be. This isn't a coincidence.
No, not at all.
And it's easy for me, and I'm one of those guys that are kind of optimistic. Oh, well, that kind of stuff happens. I'm easy to blow it off.
Yeah.
What do you think is going on?
So I believe that right now, governments around the world actually have a plan to squeeze and put pressure on their population, because I believe there's an agenda to push out a digital currency around the world. And the easiest way to push out a digital currency and get you into the position where you're not only accepting of it, but begging for it, is a crisis. And that crisis comes on multiple levels. One level is through inflation and cost of goods going up. The other level is during actual crisis, time of war, pandemic, things like that. And they want you in that position where you are looking to them, the government or the central banks, as your savior.
Okay, so the new currency that's rolling out, so if you control the food, you control the people, right?
Well, it's interesting because forever they've controlled the money supply, right? But now the money supply is changing, so now they have to control other things to be able to yet again keep control of that money supply. So because so many people are saying there's no way we're going digital, there's no way cash is going away. There's certain people, groups of people that only use cash. I'm like, I don't think you get it. The level of evil of some of these people around the world, they don't care. They have no nation state that they care about. They have no, alliance with the nation they grew up in. They are globalists. They literally are. And so right now, to change over to that currency, you now have to take control of other things. And one of them being food. And it is absolutely astonishing, the stats that you put out. And we covered that on your channel at times, my channel. It's insane. Well, now what are we seeing? We're seeing massive amounts of train derailments, right? And we saw, the
big ones, not just the wheel come off the track.
Yeah, that moron Schwab, which I'm going to be honest with you, I believe he's going to be defeated, because you're seeing them come out with WEF coming out with all this stuff about instability in times of chaos. And yeah, you're seeing these trains just getting derailed and these horrible chemical spills happening around the world. Or around the nation. But what's really sad is that how many people aren't prepared. I thank the Lord every time we do a video and people are like, I bought a water filter.
So
I bought some food.
I bought my first ounce of silver.
I
got out of debt. And you guys are crushing it. You guys in the comments, you truly are the salt of the earth. I mean, it is so cool to see people in the comments that reach out and they're like, hey, I live next to you.
Yeah.
And you make a contact that's probably a lifelong friend. Now, when you run into people in the community, more than likely, if they're here, they're like you, that you think the same, you're paying attention. And once you see it, you really can't turn back. Now, I want to go back to the CBDC because I don't think they're going to be able to pull it off. I think, and tell me if I'm wrong, they weaponized the SWIFT system, and it didn't do anything but help Russia. If we really wanted to hurt Russia, we'd have pumped more oil out of the ground, our oil. That would have hurt Russia.
That's right, absolutely. We would have dropped the price of oil.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it seems to me like this is kind of a Hail Mary on a currency that is already dying. It's on its deathbed. You've essentially put it on a crotch rocket. You made it faster. You made it, and they think, oh, we're going to be able to control everything. But they always do too much.
True, but you have to remember let's talk about the mindset of the people that are running the country and in the world. Like, let's use, the Wicked Witch of the West, Pelosi. There's no wall. Do not have a wall. We hate this. As I have a massive wall around my house. right?
yeah.
Oh, and then ironically, what was that wall to do? Protect your family that you can't protect because now your husband's getting crushed in the dome with a hammer, right?
Yeah, sure, right.
All right. So these people have no. You'd think they have no logic. No, they have a ton of logic. They can't stand us, and what they're afraid of more than anything is the middle class. Because the middle class rules any country, because the middle class has the most volume of currency, the most wealth, and they vote. Everyone votes with their money. And we always vote with our money. You know, we vote with our money which restaurants we go to. We vote with our money which baseball team we go see, or what we do with our money is voting, right? That's what they're afraid of, and that's what they want to take away. And that's what, and I believe they are going to do it. It is going to happen because it talks about it in the Bible.
Oh, they're going to do it.
Yeah, and so eventually they will. The time frame we don't know. We know that they're full on launching in July on the websites, the government websites. FedNow.org or .gov. Sorry, I'm blanking out right now. Need more coffee. But my point being is that that this is happening. But how do we push back? How do we get a reprieve? Well, we do what we are doing right now. We're getting out of debt, which gets us out of the clutches. Now, what you and I lament about all of the time, and this isn't a being out of peace issue with God, this is how do we get the message to more people? That's the most important part. And what you guys are doing, every time you hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and you don't even have to watch the videos necessarily, but you share the videos out with other people, you're just like, look, I know this, I get it, I'm preparing. We can't fight back unless more people get out of debt, unless more people buy gold and silver, unless more people literally move into other alternatives like Bitcoin, things like that, doing it the right way, don't go crazy. But then we start to get ready to take back the wealth. Like what's happening right now with BlackRock, using your pension money that you won't see any benefit from. They have $30 billion set aside for the largest real estate downturn fund in history. They are the smartest guys in the block. However, there are people like us that know what's going on. It's just how big of a voice do you have, you know? I never would have thought I'd have been on YouTube talking about this kind of stuff. And honestly, we talk about this all the time. This could end tomorrow. We just don't know. And we're trying our hardest to wake people up. But we're hoping, because like you came alongside and met me one day and said, I want to do what you're doing. I said, dude, do this and I'll help you. And you did it. And now you're helping other people. And we have like this downstream of content providers that are coming out with, they have more, a lot of these guys have way more talent than us.
Oh, no doubt.
And actually, I wouldn't say a lot of them, I'd say all of them have, because they all have different talents. You have a different talent. The question is, how are you going to use that?
Yeah, and this is how you know if you're chosen. Fear and trembling. That's how you know if you're called to do that. Well, in the Bible, that's what it says about how do you know if I'm. I can't think of the scripture right now. Of course, with cameras
sensation that it's just taking over your body, that it's just something has to be
That's how you
done?
know if you're called to preach in fear and trembling.
Gotcha.
You know, if you feel that's part of it. So if you're scared and you're unsure, because I get people in the comments ask me all the time, okay, and you can tell they're aggravated. JB was one of them the other day. He's like, we know all these things. We know there's going to be food shortages. We know FedNow's coming. We know all these things. What do we do? How long are we going to do this? What's the next step? Well, that's the thing. You've got to wake up that next person. You've got to take care of you, your family first, and then wake somebody else up to go talk to one more person.
Yeah, so if I was in front of JB right now, I don't know who you're talking about, I would say, first off, JB, are you in debt? I'd get an answer. No. JB, do you have money set aside, food set aside, a water filter? Yes. All right, cool. It's now time you're now to go out, and you are to go and affect other people. You are to go out and teach. You are to go out and warn. And, well, I tried that with my family and friends. Yeah, those are the wrong people.
Ooh,
go get a national stage. Start thinking bigger. Stop thinking small. Small thinking is family and friends. You want to know why? Because your friends and family are small thinkers, because they'll put you down every time. We're in Las Vegas right now, straight up Sin City, right? That's what it's known for. That's what they're proud of. I drove here and I was praying. My prayer was like, we are going to meet people this week that are going to affect the world. I believe that I'm going to meet someone this week that I'm going to be lifelong friends with. I came here expecting to change the world through me being here present. And we're here with other YouTubers. I had a YouTuber very successful guy. I think this week he's going on CNN and Fox to warn people about what's going on in the auto industry. And he was talking about the greatest thing he ever did when he started warning people and talking about the industry was never telling his family and friends. Matter of fact, his channel got to 150,000 subscribers before he ever told one person.
Wow, that's really cool.
Hey, you know what? I got to tell you this story too. Actually, at 95,000 subscribers, he had his channel was a certain name, and then he changed it to his name right before so that it would be on his plaque. Because he didn't want it searchable. He didn't want anybody looking up his name, any of his family and friends. That's how covert he was. And so, like, if you're out there right now and you're trying to warn people, stop with your family and friends. Think bigger. You're not thinking big enough. I want you thinking bigger.
Yeah, there's a saying, and I don't remember who said it first. I think I heard it first from Mark Moss, but you can't be a prophet in your own town. And I know we say that all the time because it's the truth. It's so true. And
Jesus couldn't be either.
Yeah, it goes for everybody.
Yeah.
But that should not stop you because there is a whole world out there that YouTube. I have people from Ireland and everywhere you can imagine.
Well, what happens when you think bigger? You know, all of a sudden God goes, now I can do something with this guy or this lady. Now you're finally waking up. You can, now start having that kind of faith. Like, I'm just going to go big.
Yeah.
And just watch what happens.
Change the world. You're gonna do that by changing one person at a time.
Yeah.
Look, this guy has been right on so many things. I've been right on several things, but it's when you can warn people early, and a lot of people don't get it.
No.
They don't get it. They're like, well, that didn't happen. Well, give it 6 months. You know, we're early. And I would rather be early than late. Being late is not an option for me. So get your preps, get your food, get your precious metals, get what you're comfortable with, a percentage-wise, wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, I mean, just think about equal baskets. Put some money in your savings basket. Put some money to paying off your debt basket. Put some money into getting some food. You can only have so much food, too. That's the other thing people don't get. Once you get a certain amount of food, whether that be 6 months or a year's of emergency supplies. I mean, it sounds funny. I'm laughing with my buddy because pre-COVID, we went and, Jeff, we went and bought a bunch of toilet paper. And I probably had, I don't know, from Costco, like 10 of those things, right? And what's funny is we still laugh because people are like, you're crazy. Look, nothing ever happened. I'm like, well, actually, there was a shortage, and I didn't have to stand in the line. Matter of fact, me and Jeff we sat on my pickup truck and got some Costco pizza. We're sitting there eating that pizza and just staring into like hundreds of people waiting for toilet paper. We're like, we'd done this a year prior to COVID, right? And today, the other day, I'm like, I'm going to Costco, and he goes, you need toilet paper? I'm like, I still got some left. He goes, yeah, and we're paying half price. We literally paid half price for all that stuff.
All the people that started buying food when you started mentioning it first and then I started mentioning it have beat the stock market.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
With a can of peas.
Yeah, and this is, the inflation, and you complicate that with all the American food supply that's under attack. That's just going to be less goods and services that you get to buy with your money that's being devalued.
Check this out. To all the idiots out there that would even contemplate, probably a fat-fingered person already commented at this point, you can't eat gold. Okay. In the year 2000, a can of canned corn, was 29 cents. Right now it's sitting at, guys, what do you think canned corn is right now?
I bet it's over a
dollar. Yeah, like $1.20 or something like that. So it's gone up how many times? 5 times maybe? 4 or 5 times?
5x.
Gold's gone up 10 times. So all the tools that are, can't buy gold, can't eat gold. And I go, well, you also... Yeah, or how's it? Can't put gold in my gas tank. I'm like, well, you renob, I'll just take a $5 bill and I'm gonna hand it to you if you'll take this $1 bill and shove it down the pipe of that car. And they just don't get it.
Well, I don't want to offend anybody.
No, I'm
but
only the
some
renobs.
people,
Sorry.
some people don't have wealth to hedge.
No, that's false.
So,
it's 100% false. I'm going to tell you right now, I barely made it when I was newly married with my kids, and I went out on the 6th day, and I worked a little extra, and I didn't spend the money. Every single person that's ever told me, I don't got money for, I'd be at church warning people, in 2014, when silver is, under $20, I don't got money, and this is a Starbucks coffee, I don't got money for silver. You don't know what it's like to be me.
And I'm like $7 cup of coffee.
Your $7 cup of coffee, that could have bought 2 silver dimes. And what happens is wealth attracts wealth. As you start to gain wealth, it is absolutely crazy. Something changes in your mind. And where I used to, when I was younger, look through the classifieds and go, oh my gosh, I want that, I want that, I want that. I wanted things I couldn't have. When as your wealth gets larger and larger, your savings grows and grows, 2 things happen. you never forget how hard it was to gain that wealth, right? To build your savings account, to build your emergency account. The second thing that happens, when you have money you can literally buy anything. It happens all the time now. We're just like, what are we gonna do? Go shopping? Like, well, I don't need anything. I don't want anything. You're like, you're just like.
I get what you're saying, but I guess what I was saying is that food would be more important. Water filters, that kind of stuff, in my opinion, to start with. Get your preps first, and then worry about your precious metals. But if you've got $100, are you going to spend 25% of it on precious metals? Probably just 10%, right?
No. So what I do is, if you have $100, I would literally love to walk to your house, because you need to walk to your house, and I've done this all the time. Like, walk to your house and go, what do you got that you haven't used in the last year? Oh, that, cool. Sell it. Sell that now and go convert that. That's wealth, right? Wealth is stuff that you could convert to money, and then convert that and go convert that to gold and silver, because you can't eat that. And if it sits there unused for another year, well, crap, I could have bought some silver coins. Then take your $100, yes, and go buy some food. Stop looking at what you don't have, and start looking at what you do have. That's the other thing. You have a poverty mentality if you keep telling me, I don't got the money. Bull. I mean, I'm not even joking. I've seen people living in their cars that you're seeing all this stuff in their car, and you're like, well, what'd you buy this stuff with? Well, I need that. Like, you need that? And then you just look at their eyes, and they're like,
a fidget spinner.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It calms me.
True. It's so true. And yeah. So guys, I know this video is getting long, but all these things that are happening, we have been talking about for years.
Yeah.
And and there's a little lackadaisical effect right now. It seems like people they're kind of easing up on their preps. And it's not time. It's time now's the time. Now's the time to get whatever you're going to get. And it might be a time also to gather up some things like the glut of goods that we're seeing from the ships, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Some things, the tool 401k I talk about a lot. Mm-hmm. So I have a lot of tools that I use all the time. I'm going ahead and get a double and get the blades for it and get it set aside, because those are only going to go up, especially when conflict with China, because all of our tools are made in China just about.
Yeah, but it's stuff that you need.
Yeah.
To make
that
money,
I make a living with. So go ahead and get those things. Your food 401k. Take some of your 401k or something and put it into something hard that you and your family can eat, like a whole cow in a freezer. You can sell some Amazon stock and do that, right now. Or building a relationship with a farmer. There's lots of things you can do right now to get prepared. And leave me something in the comments. Leave me one thing that you think is the most important thing to prepare right now.
That's great. For other people to read.
It's
a great idea.
Thank you for coming on, bro.
No problem, man. Have a great day.
Absolutely. Thanks. Guys, have an awesome, awesome day. We'll see you in the next one.
See you guys.
Later.